Today we're fixing broken banned Magic the Gathering cards in Commander. And we are going to start today's show off with Falling Star. It's a 3-mana sorcery. Now, this is a little bit of a weird one. I'm not even going to read the ancient scripture. We have to consult the Oracle text. Sorcery for 3 mana. Flip Falling Star onto the playing area from a height of at least 1 foot. Falling Star deals 3 damage to each creature it lands on. So it's like almost like it's a crappy Anger of the Gods. But it does have one benefit. Tap all creatures dealt damage by Falling Star, and if Falling Star doesn't turn completely over at least once during the flip, it has no effect. I have a feeling that we're probably going to have to change this card the same way we changed Chaos Orb in the past, and that is you can just target the one thing you want on the battlefield. In theory, if someone had enough playing space, they could separate all the cards that you can only hit one card, and then that's it. So this actually would be powered down significantly. It would just be a 3 mana, deal 3 damage, and I don't know, I guess tap that creature. That's it. They get to be tapped. So you can, I guess, attack through and attack for victory. Does anyone have any other ideas to balance the Falling Star? I don't think there's a whole lot of room around this card, because it can't be a dexterity card. The same thing with Chaos Orb. We all know how Chaos Orb worked. Chaos Orb is a card that's actually seeing tournament play, but they've errated it as just a Vindicate, and that's pretty fair. It's 3 mana, destroy target permanent. This is it's funny, actually. This is significantly worse than Chaos Orb, because you have to pay a whole color. You still pay the 3 mana. You have to pay it all up at once. You don't destroy the thing, and at best, you're just gonna tap the creature. At best. Oh, you want to actually buff the card? Destroy target creature, deal 3 to everything else? That's not really... I don't know. Is that really the flavor of the card? That really changes it a lot. That makes it worse than Bolt. Well, of course it makes it worse than... There's a lot of cards worse than Bolt in this game. Falling Star can be one of them. I mean, hey, effectively, it was worse than Bolt even at the time. Because you just has to space your battlefield in such a way that only one creature was going to get hit, and then that was it. Christopher V says, I made up retrains for all the reserve list cards years ago. Cannot remember what I did for Falling Star. You have to dig into your memory bank, Christopher B. Dig into that memory bank. Hey, we don't have profile pictures in chat. Replay, we're faceless. Oh, well. You gotta complain to Google about that. I've got nothing for me. I got nothing for you. Oh, Mike the Red has an idea here. Roll a dice, and all creatures with the CMC of what you roll take 3 damage. That's actually not a bad idea. I like that one. All right, so we still have the randomness factor of it all. You could even flip a coin, maybe. So instead of flipping... Well, I don't know if that would make it too strong. You could flip a coin for each creature in play. And then for each coin flip that you win, it deals 3 damage and taps it. And if you lose the flip, it deals no damage. So that's a possibility as well. And I assume that you would flip the coin for each creature opponent controls. But actually, I didn't think about that. Like, hey, the whole... flipping the card, let whatever it falls is random. We have other ways of determining randomness in this game as well. Or I don't know, you could roll a die and 1 to 2 it deals 3 damage, 4 to 6 it does nothing. Or sorry, 3 to 6 it does nothing. But if you roll 6, deal 3 damage to the 8/8, see if it cares. But it taps it. Remember, whenever Falling Star deals damage to a creature, it taps it. So you know what? The 8/8, it does care about that. It cares about being tapped. If we really need to errata this, give it a silver border and leave the card text. No, we have to errata it. We have to make it legal. That's the whole point of this show. Mappia says, Yu-Gi-Oh! Functional errata back in the day, I think, was just to clear up bad rules. Oh, you're talking about something back in chat. That's fine. I have 18 token creatures in play. Well... Do you feel lucky that you're going to keep all of them? Okay, I think we have. I think that rolling a die, I think it works. Okay, we're going to roll a die, and then if we win the roll, I'm assuming all creatures. I guess in theory, the Falling Star could land on your creature, so we're going to have to roll a die for every single creature in play. And if it rolls in your favor, 3 damage and tap it. If it doesn't, deals nothing. All right, moving on. Not Chaos Orb. Fast Bond. Fast Bond is a green enchantment. You may play any number of lands on each of your turns. Whenever you play a land, if it wasn't the first land you played this turn, Fast Bond deals 1 damage to you. To some degree, I'm a bit surprised that this card is banned. I mean, I'm not that surprised, as if you can draw a lot of cards, you just basically spew them all onto the battlefield. I'm not going to say this is a combo with Tatiova, but if there's any effect on the battlefield that lets you gain life, so it's not even a downside. Also in Commander, 40 life. So how do we fix the Fast Bond? Oh, is that a problem with Paradox Engine? Or is Paradox Engine, Matt, you're making a suggestion. We're going in alphabetical order, unless you want to pay to win. If you donate, we'll skip ahead. You can skip ahead a line here, and we'll take a look at it. Limit the amount of extra lands you can play. That would make it crappier. That would just be exploration, right? So let's go to exploration. How do you make this a different exploration, which is already a green enchantment? You may play an additional land on each of your turns. Or do we just up the ante on the life that's lost? Like, okay, you can play a land, but it's going to cost you 4 life. Obviously, 1 life is not enough. Double the life loss every time. Oh, you know what? You know what, Steve Cooper? I like this idea. And maybe it's something like the One Ring, where, okay, for each, you can play an extra land, or whenever you play an extra land, put like a Fast Bond counter on Fast Bond, and then you take damage equal to the number of Fast Bond counters on Fast Bond. So if you play a second extra land drop, and it accumulates, so you put a second counter on it, then you take 2 damage. You put a third counter, you take 3 damage, and so on. I find that actually the One Ring punishment was a great idea. It was super great. The problem with the One Ring was that you could reset the One Ring by just playing another One Ring. It was a great idea, and I think they can apply this punishment to other cards, like Fast Bond, for example. Yeah, increase the cost of 4 or 5 mana. You can take 3 or... Well, then I think that makes it largely useless. So if you make it like 5 mana, and there are cards like that out there, where it's like ramp. But the thing, okay, so you cost 5 mana. You play all your land drops. You play this thing for 5 mana. You don't have any more land drops yet left. They're all gone. You had 5 mana already. Like, that's the whole point of Fast Bond. So you get things out fast. So, but there needs to be an adequate punishment for ramping yourself out like that. Make it 3 lands like Azusa, Lost But Seeking. Yeah, I guess you could. So it's just basically a slightly better, it's a better exploration. But you like take a little bit of damage, I would say. It would be nullified by Solemnity and such cards. Well, I mean, that's a combo then. Well, we're not allowed to have combos in Magic the Gathering. I mean, there are some people out there that's like, no combos allowed. Nothing, no synergy. Vanilla cards. Gotta play your land drops one step, I don't know, one turn at a time. Lil MX doing about my Urza deck list. No, I didn't post the thing because I knew I couldn't order it in time. Probably you'll get to see that somewhere in the future. I will make it though. I promise I will make it because I want to make an Urza deck. I also can't take all those cards that were suggested. Okay, Argentina, you take damage for every land, including your first land and your opponent's land. You take it for every land. Oh my god. That's fascinating. Okay, so for every land drop that enters the battlefield, you take damage. That is an interesting downside. So when your opponent ramps, you actually just get nailed. And if someone like Scape Shifts, that's going to be extra damage. I like that. I like that a lot. I mean, Summer Bloom every turn for 1 less is still busted. Absolutely. Mike the Red, commutative upkeep. Put a land from your hand onto the battlefield. Fast Bond deals 1 damage to you for each land you put onto the battlefield in this way. I think it's similar. I mean, it's not nearly as broken, of course, because you only have an opportunity at your upkeep. Oh, and you know what? I mean, it's still in the spirit of the card. No, but you know what's a problem? There's still no punishment for having this card in play. Like, if you don't put lands in play, then you don't take damage. Maybe cumulative upkeep, take 1 damage and put a land into put an extra lands in play, or just cumulative upkeep, take 1 damage. No, that might actually not be strong. There's might not be punishing enough, because if the card is only in play for like 3 turns, you only take like what 3 damage. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Each player may play any number of lands. That would that might balance it. How about that one actually? My chat, my Zyber crew. How about that? Each player, like all players, have access to this. Or is it just going to be brutally powerful in the hands of the person that owns the fast bond, and of course gets to utilize the fast bond first before anybody else? But I don't know. But it's cumulative upkeep. If you don't put the lands in play, you lose the card. Oh, that's true, actually. Or if you just don't want to pay, so you just don't have to pay. Yeah, cumulative upkeep may not work so well for this card. You could still turn 1 this and combo off before anyone does anything. Okay, so this the suggestion of everyone else playing the lands, not gonna work. I do like the 1 rings. I like the 1 ring possibility. If it is your turn, you may pay 1 additional lands. Second turn, 2, and so on. Tracking is a nightmare. Yeah, that's gonna be a little dirty. It's not gonna be very clean there, Arjun. Oh, where are we? What happened to everything? What's going on here? Does everyone see what I see? So if I get rid of Argentina's chat, I lose everything. What is going on? Is everyone with me here? Did I disconnect? Hello, testing. Toilet Duck says, okay, I'm going to refresh something. I'm going to refresh. This is my client is acting weird. Okay, is everything working? Okay, everything's working now. Okay, we're all here. That's good. All right. I don't know, it was the thing was glitching up. I wonder what it looks like on the replay. Okay, well, we're back. These cards are so broken, they are interrupting the stream. They're sending signals. It's getting staticky. Okay, so what are our options? Options are I do know what I really like that came from all of you. It was whenever a land comes into play, you take 1 damage. So you might have been the person that put the fast bond in play, but if you do not combo off this turn, what about the music? Oh, the music disappeared. Okay, we're gonna bring that one back. We're gonna bring the music. The music's on its way. It's a glitchy day today. We have the I think either the 1 ring stipulations, or whenever a land comes into play on anybody's turn, it's going to deal damage to you. So you better combo off with fast bond. It might not be enough, because if you truly can win on turn 1 with fast bond, then I guess you're just dead one way or another. And I don't know any other. No. Then the 1 ring thing works. So whenever you put an additional land, you take additional damage equal to the number of land drops you've played. Period. And you can keep track of it by putting counters on it. I think increasing the mana cost and damage would work. Well, of course that would work, but if you increase the mana cost too high, the card is worthless. This card has only use if it comes out early. I mean, it could be 2 mana instead of 1. Okay, next up. Let's take a look at Flash. Oh my goodness. 2 mana instant. You may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. If you do, sacrifice it. Unless you pay its mana cost reduced by up to 2. This is such a weird card. I'm surprised they even printed something like this. And I guess it was the prelude to actually making Flash cards for the most part. Streams everywhere are acting up, and not just on YouTube. The internet is acting up. I think increasing the mana cost and damage would... Oh, no, I read that one. Sack a permanent to play a land. Oh, that's on the last one. So for Flash, one weird possibility is you ban all the cards that combo with Flash. That's a possibility. You know, why are we banning Flash? We should just ban, what's it called? Protein Hulk. Protein Hulk's the problem. There's nothing wrong with Flash. We have a Protein Hulk problem. I believe Protein Hulk is not the only card that gets massive value, but is still one of the best ones. Still not hearing the music? What is going on here? Let us all know. Does anyone can anyone hear the music? Music is there? Okay. Turn up your speakers. Listen, you know what? Listen with headphones. That's the best way to do it. Exile it instead. You may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. If you do, sack it. Would that actually do anything? So let's look at Protein Hulk. Where's Protein Hulk? So when it dies, maybe that will actually work out. It's very possible. That would get rid of the death triggers. What about the leave the battlefield triggers? Not that there are like a million of them, but maybe okay, you know what? Maybe that works. Maybe that's a simple solution. Maybe put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. If you do, sack it. Sorry, exile it, unless you pay its mana cost reduced by up to 2. I guess that's just the idea. Maybe put a creature spell from your hand or from among creatures you control on the battlefield as though it had flash without paying its mana cost. If you do, sack it, sacrifice it as it enters. What? That's a bit of a weird... That is really weird ruling. How are we sacrificing something as it enters the battlefield? That's just bizarre. So I think all the combos, though, with Flash all have to do with death triggers. So I think if you just switch it to exile, problem solved. Problem solved. That was a fast one. Okay, next up. We got Golos! Oh. I don't remember the hate for Golos. It was just like a generically good card. That's why they banned it. 5 mana, 3/5 scout. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a land card. Put that card onto the battlefield tapped, then shelf your library. And also for 7 mana, exile the top 3 cards of your library. You may play them this turn without paying their mana costs. So in Commander, this as a legendary creature, this is like, it's just the green light to play 5-color whatever the hell you want, because this card just lets you do that. It's a colorless card, so you play it off of any mana. Also, it ramps you, which, by the way, is pretty broken in Commander, mostly because it's really... You get really shamed for playing land destruction, even though that's part of the game. So ramp becomes much stronger than it should, just because it's socially unethical to be blowing up people's lands. And for that reason, this card actually gives you a bit of a discount on your commander tax, because you're always looking for a land. So when it dies and you bring it back, it looks for another land, which makes your next cast on this thing one mana cheaper. Mega cast 9 CMC. Okay, what do we have? Fetch a basic land. Is that going to solve the problem? I don't know if that would really solve the problem, Argentina. You can fetch 5 basic lands. I think that'd be fine. Was it any land? You search your library for... Oh my, it could be any land card. Okay, that is a problem. Good God. How did they think that was fine? Search your library for a land card. You can get anything. Yeah, I agree, actually. If you make it a basic land, that could change a lot. Okay, what are the other suggestions we have here? It's banned? It's banned? It's legal in Brawl. It is banned, Gillum. They banned it a long, long time ago. Did the world champion? No, that's not a banned card. That was just never legal. Okay, make his mana cost Wooburg too? Okay, we can do all these things. The mana cost is Wooburg. Fetch his basic lands. Solfim, get rid of the ramp and maybe make the other ability a tap ability. Maybe. Okay, we got Zerato. Nikachu, what do you think about the legendary creature called Ray William Johnson, and his text just invents a rule that lets you do your opponent's mom? What the hell? I have no opinion on this. I don't know the details. Is there like some truth to this that I gotta look up later? Roy William Johnson is like a super OG YouTuber. Honestly, it doesn't need fixing that much. Sees no play in Brawl. Well, but this is a Commander show. Or today we're talking about the Commander format. And if we get to Brawl, you can talk about Brawl all we want. But in Commander, people hate this card. I don't even know if it was banned because it was actually good. I think it was banned just because, you know, it's one of those cards like almost everyone played. To be honest, I think Golos would be better if it was a tap ability. Oh, you mean exiling the top 3 cards as a tap ability? Oh, Ray William Johnson had a band called Your Favorite Martian that had a song called Doing Your Mom. Oh, good God.
No, God, please, no.
I had no idea. Maybe that's his origin story. Golos and Field of the Dead, good times. Well, not anymore. All right, okay, we have Andrew agrees with Steve in Argentina. What was Argentina all about? Argentina was fetch basic land, and Steve was make mana cost Wooburg. All right, it's settled then. Golos now is Wooburg and fetches a basic land, so no be getting like Maze of Ith and stuff. Yeah, that's insane. It's a 5/3 body that tutors for whatever the hell you want. Great toolbox card. All right, next up. Are we ready for the next card? Make Golos' ability 7 colorless so he can't be commander. That doesn't change anything, but that would cut out the Wooburg part of it. So that's actually that's a possibility. So instead of making it a Wooburg card, you make the entire ability colorless, which then makes the whole deck colorless. I would actually be fine with that as well. So maybe you even keep the clause that it can look for any land in your deck, but now you can't be a 5-color deck. You have to literally be colorless. You're like in Eldrazi territory now. Golos becoming the king of the Eldrazi's. Probably not very flavorful, though. Making him colorless would make him Eldrazi compatible with artifact deck still. They already exist. What do you want? Would this be better than like Ulamog or the other Eldrazi's of the Commander? I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, making colorless. All right. We can also make it colorless. So you can go Wooburg, fetch basic land, or just be like, okay, screw all the colors. We don't need any colors. Make it colorless. Next up, we got Grizzlebrand. I have a feeling I know what everyone is going to... I think I know... No, wait a minute. I don't know what everyone's going to suggest because I forgot. This is a card. Actually, you know what? Maybe there is an easy suggestion for this card. Easy fix for this card. So anyway, it's 8 mana, 7/7 demon, flying lifelink, pay 7 life, draw 7 cards. And so basically when you get Grizzlebrand out, you've hit the jackpot. Completely hit the jackpot. Okay, Christopher B says, easy fix. Change the draw to work like Necropotence. Instead, pay 7 to exile 7, add at your end of turn. Maybe. That's such a weird... I mean, maybe. Activate it only once. Just unban him. There's too many ways in Commander to stop him. Is there? Only once per turn. You really think just 7 cards per turn makes it fair? I think that's insane. If we go Entomb, reanimate Grizzlebrand, draw 7, I think I'm up on cards. I think I'm way up on cards. You still have to kill the stupid thing later. Tainted Remedy stops him. Remove the lifelink. I don't think that's gonna... I sincerely don't think that's gonna solve the problem. Pay 70 life. KK says, I don't know how to fix these cards. Kaya, reshuffle when discarded. How about... Okay, so I was thinking about something like that. Like, if Grizzlebrand... And it can't have a trigger. Because if it has a trigger, you can still Gura's Vengeance, the stupid thing. If Grizzlebrand would enter the graveyard from anywhere, shuffle it back into your library instead. I think that would be my way of fixing this card. You don't even have to shuffle the whole graveyard. I mean, you could, I guess, if you want. No flying, just death touch. The thing is just pure death. Enters sack creatures. Like all the other demons. That would fix it. Okay, honestly, that would fix it. If you have to fix sack 7 other demons, or at least 7 other creatures, there's like no way you would cheat with this card anymore. I'm actually a supporter for the sack 7 creatures. And all the other demons work like that too. All the other demons work like that. You have to make a sacrifice to, I don't know, the devil for the thing to come out. Benjamin Berkey says you have to discard if you have more than 7 cards in hand. Yeah, but there's a lot of things you can do at instant speed. Pay 7 mana and life? That makes it really clunky. I mean, it's possible there's no way to balance the stupid pay 7 life thing. How did Avacyn ever snuff this guy with no effort? She's a natural. Absolute natural. We're going through all the cards alphabetically, Charlie. We're on to Grizzlebrand right now. Okay, pay 14 life, so you lose the same percentage of starting life as in 1v1. The card would be so stone useless in 1-on-1. But I mean, that's possible. So at pay 14 life, draw 7. Yeah, just add the sack 7. Out of curiosity, would it even be playable if you have to sack 7 creatures? Would anyone play that card? I guess little casuals would do it. The juicy little casuals, they'd still play Grizzlebrand. They'd be like, I'm gonna have, what was that, Apostle card? Apostle. Yeah, Shadowborn Apostle. You can put Grizzlebrand in your Shadowborn Apostle deck, where you just get a million of these guys out really quickly. And then if you have the mana, you sack them all to get your Grizzlebrand in play. The ability of creature name can only be activated once per turn. I don't think that balances this card. 7 life and 7 cards is insane. It's really strong. Or they yeah, I mean, I think it's really strong. Draw until you have 7 cards instead. No, but then you can just play them, right? So you pay 7 life, draw up to 7 cards, dump your hand the best that you can, pay 7 life, draw more cards. I mean, even 7 life for 5 cards is pretty strong. Make it a pay 7 life, everyone discards their hand and draw 7. If once per turn, it is just like Atraxa. No, it's not, because Atraxa can't do it again. Or does Atraxa work on attack? I thought it was just ETB. Enters the battlefield, reveal cards. It's not the same. It's not the same. Atraxa is only a one-time shot. Grizzlebrand, this is every turn. This is every turn. I think it's pretty extreme for this thing to go off even once. Forget like happening like on a second turn or a third turn. Discard your hand and draw the same amount you discarded. That would probably be fair, actually. That would probably be fair from Yoinker. That actually is not too bad. Exile Grizzle as part of the cost. Make the activated ability a one-time ETB then. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, Anna's cooking here. Okay, so we all admit Atraxa's fine. Atraxa's fair. Like, to some extent. So we could make Grizzlebrand ETB. You may pay 7 life if you do draw 7 cards. That's interesting. You go through all the work to have a Grizzlebrand in play, and then if you want, you can go through the effort of blinking it like you would with Atraxa. But I mean, you got to put the effort there. You know what? I actually like that from Anna. We make this an ETB effect. Argentina's like, Atraxa is not fair. That's not a fair card. Well, is it banned in Commander? It's not banned in Commander. It's not banned, not yet, at least. And you get to play more colors when you play with Atraxa. Its ability just needs to be restricted to one time, however you go about it. All right, ETB. You may pay 7 life if you do draw 7 cards. Excellent suggestion by Anna. All right, we're going to take a look at more banned commander cards that we have to fix. We're got to do the plumbing in the commander ban list. We also got to thank our sponsor today, FusionGamingOnline.com, my favorite sponsor, of course, where you can get Marvel Spider-Man cards. You can get singles, especially the deal of the week, 15% off all Edge of Eternity singles. I picked myself up a Tezzeret Cruel Captain in the very fancy framed border. And you can also get your Edges of Eternity cards, real Magic the Gathering cards from Universes Within. And don't forget to use coupon code Nikachu at checkout to get 5% off all your purchases. In addition to other deals, we're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online. Play any deck, any format you want. You heard of pre-modern? You heard of tiny leaders? What is it, Australian Commander? You can play all niche formats when you're renting all cards with Mana Traders. You can support the channel using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or save 40% cash back on your 3rd month subscription using coupon code Nikachu_EFC. To rent cards from Mana Traders on Magic Online. You can also play Commander there too. I've done it a few times. Don't expect much table talk. Okay, next up. What do we got next up, everyone? We have Hull Breacher. Hull Breacher is next. 3 mana, 3/2, Merfolk Pirate. Yar matey. Flash. If an opponent would draw a card except the first one they draw in each of their draw steps, instead, you create a treasure token. Okay, well, I never got to enjoy this card. This card was banned before I got to play it. Very disappointing. I did end up buying this card, but for it's Legacy, not Commander. Yes, please buy from the sponsor and let Nikachu earn some commission. Yeah, you got it. Keep feeding I got a cat I gotta feed. Chubby Meatball. Where are you, Chubby Meatball? Prove you exist. Prove I have to feed you, cat. I just bought her she needs specialty food. It's okay, she's doing well. Bizzlebolt says, I'm bad at MTG, so I have no valid inputs for this stream. Oh my god, you have the best inputs for this stream. There's no none of us are pros here. And based on this, now I need to make a custom card named Grizzle Off Brand with the fixed effect to go for it. Okay, either make it trigger once a turn or lose flash. You know what's that's probably the simple solution. Take away instead. Only works the turn it enters, or remove flash. I think removing flash is the way to go. I mean, if you look at a card like Narset, it's the same thing. Was it Narset Part of Veil? It's the same thing. Each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn. But this is sorcery speed. This one's flash speed. So Hull Breacher gets, like, sneaks up on ya. Gets the jump scare on ya. Mike says, just take out the word instead. They keep their cards. You get cards. It's, if an opponent would draw a card, except the first one they draw in each of their draw steps, instead you create a treasure token. Oh, well, that would completely defeat... Oh, you mean if they draw cards, you get tokens? Actually, that would work too. I think that's a valid answer. I mean, this card was only a pain because it deprived people of drawing cards. But I think it's actually way closer to the original design if you just remove the flash. This guy doesn't even look fast! Where did he come at? I mean, I guess he just came out of nowhere from the sea. Pay 1 generic for each treasure token? That's really clunky. 1 treasure per turn, but I think if you're degenerate with mass card draw, you deserve to feed the fish. Oh, you know what? There is a point that the difference between this and Narset never gave you treasure tokens. This one, it's the same effect, but also the treasure tokens. So Anna also believes, let's lose the flash. Jackal says, take flash away and make it a 1-time per turn. So I think, from what I hear, definitely remove the flash, and maybe they get 1 treasure. They get 1 treasure. So that's one way of doing it. Like, if they would draw a card, you get 1 treasure, and that's it. Which I don't even know how it's going to happen. Who the hell is going to want to try to draw extra cards with a Hull Breacher in play? Make it a 5. Maybe 5-drop actually makes it fair. 3-drop makes it too easy. I think it would be fine if activated once and only on ETB. You know what? The turn it comes into play is the turn probably that everyone's gonna go broke. Because usually it's a combo like wheel. You play Hull Breacher directly into a wheel effect. So like if it, probably once is enough, is what I'm saying. Like if you go Hull Breacher into Wheel of Fortune, I mean it's game over, basically. You can pack it up. You can scoop now. Ignore this ability for spells or abilities controlled by you. That's interesting. That's actually that's unique. That's creative. So it's like if an opponent would draw a card from a spell or ability they control, except the first one they draw in each of their draw steps, instead you create a treasure token. Okay. You know, I like that. I like that a lot. Then that actually makes it much more true to what that card is actually supposed to be. Because Hellbreacher is just supposed to screw over the opponent's ability to draw cards. It's not supposed to leverage you forcing your opponent to draw cards. To be honest, drawing multiple cards per turn is nasty. It is. It would be nice if we had access to Hull Breacher. We need more Hull Breachers in this game. Yeah, so it's basically just a means of stopping to abuse us abusing Hull Breacher. Hull Breacher already ignored you. It only affects opponents. No, but the point is, you can play cards like Wheel of Fortune. See, that's the combo. So you play Hull Breacher, and then you follow it up with a card like Wheel of Fortune, which says each player discards their hand and draws 7 cards. So what ends up happening is you draw 7 cards, and your opponents draw nothing. They get nothing. Sorry, they get 1 card sometimes. They would draw a card except the first card. Oh, no, they get nothing. Sorry, that's an Narset. Narset would give you 1. That's nasty. That's not the only one. That's not the only card that. That's not the only effect that does that. But if we switch it to, if an opponent would draw a card from a spell or ability they control, not from us, that they control, except the first one they draw in each of their draw steps. Instead, you create a treasure token. I really like that solution. That's a great solution. Unban it, Nekasard need. Maybe make it draw cards during their turn. Nah, there's a lot of ways of screwing things up. In Yu-Gi-Oh, they call cards like this a hand trap. They're gonna trap you. Okay, next up, let's take a look at Iona. Okay, this is what? 9 mana for a 7/7 angel flying. As Iona, Shield of Emeria, enters the battlefield, choose a color. Your opponents can't cast spells of the chosen color. Now, in my opinion, this card's fair. I don't know, if you lost to this card, it's because, well, you played a monocolored deck and you didn't play artifacts in your deck or any sort of, like, removal for an Iona type of card. So I think it's fair game that you just lose to this damn thing. And by the way, I am speaking as a person who plays monocolored decks. Again, 9 mana. It's 9 mana. You want to increase the mana? I don't think increasing the mana on Iona is going to change very much here. You have protection from the chosen color. That is better. That's a better way of looking at it. It's 9 mana. Leave it, honestly. It's fine the way it is. Well, says me, says you, but not all the commander players. At least not the committee at the time. Until end of turn. I think that makes it a bit weak. That makes it really weak and sort of pointless, frankly. Make it a tax effect? How big of a tax? I actually like this. You have protection from that chosen color. That makes some sense. This thing is banned. It is banned! They banned this thing. They banned it, I don't know when. Banned Commander Iona. Banned list and philosophy update. Iona is banned. Let's read what they had to say when Iona got banned. Iona creates a negative experience for many players. without the benefit of a positive application. We had previously considered its high mana cost sufficient to keep it from getting played, but deeper investigation demonstrated many ways of getting it onto the battlefield without paying that cost. Iona Shield of Emery is also an exemplar as the type of card which creates an experience we wish to discourage, namely shutting players out of games. Oh, that's right. Anyway, it got banned for those reasons. They can't cast spells of the chosen color during your turn, like Grand Abolisher. Oh, that's like a. So you want to make a 9 mana, 1 color Abolisher? That sucks. It's terrible. It's got to be some. I like so far. I like the suggestion. You have protection from that color. It's pretty. That's not bad. Totally, Duck. The world's smallest violin playing for anyone who has a negative playing experience. I know. What's funny is that, everyone still has a negative playing experience, no matter what the playing experience is. Oh, you have a combo? I'm having a negative. You know what? If you're ever not having fun, frame it like, I'm having a negative playing experience. This is against the spirit of Commander. My negative playing experience suggests this card should be banned. Solfim says, this is banned, and if I recall, there is a card for 2 mana that makes player unable to cast CMC 4 or greater, perfectly legal. Yeah, well, at least then you can cast your cheaper cards, particularly removal spells. So if you play Iona and name White, then someone can't play Swords to Plowshares, Path to Exile, and so on this card. Stop Reanimate. Add if White is paid to cast, just like the new Lorwyn evokes. I don't think that's going to be the big problem. Honestly, 9 mana is not that hard to cast, even if they need to cast this card. Iona with Painter Servant is Lockout. That's correct. So what did they do? They banned Painter Servant first, I think. Then they banned Iona. Then they unbanned Painter Servant, and Painter Servant didn't do anything after that. That's it. Losing is a negative playing experience. Yeah, I lost the game. I'm having a negative playing experience right now. In the 0-2 bracket. I got it, ban Painter Servant and unban her. Well, they did that. And it didn't do anything. People still had negative playing experiences. Judge my experience. It's becoming negative. Was actually any wheel deck has more feel bads? Probably. If it's until end of turn, they would have to at least blink it to lock you out again. But if it's until end of turn, I think the card is just crap. It's like, okay, I spend my entire turn to play Iona. Pass. Okay, it's gone. Like, it's like it's just a fart that like disappears in the wind. You might have been disgusted at the whiff of it for a split second, but then it's over. It's over. That fart is gone. You're breathing fresh air again. Make it more like Phyrexian Censor. You can only cast 1 spell of that color per turn. That's possible. I don't know, because she also combos with Sphinx's Tutelage and Panharmonicon. Give it Flash. And until end of turn. I think it's still so weak. If this effect is only until end of turn, then it sucks. It's the crappiest ETB of all time. End of turn, I'll flash this in. You can't play blue spells until your next turn. Or until end of turn. Okay, I'll take my turn. Okay, it's gone. You know what I mean? Frankly, I hate Void Winnower more. Toad says, I'm tardy to the party. Yeah, come. Oh, God. You want to fart around here, Toads? I have no fart sound effect. Okay, do you know what? I'm going to go with one of the earlier suggestions. When Iona Shield of Emery enters the battlefield, you have protection from the chosen color. I think that's fine. You personally. So, like, if you choose white, then you have protection from, like, white spells and white creatures, or even more importantly, red. That would actually still be flavorful, because if you choose red, that would really screw over red players. But Iona can still die. Iona could still die. It's not preventing you from actually playing removal spells. What if until your next turn? I think it's honestly, I still think it's bad. It's too much mana. To make it like 5 mana, but then it takes away from the spirit of the card. All right, next up. Oh, Caracas. I think we had some creative ways of answering this card. Okay, legendary land, tap for a white mana. Tap, return target legendary creature to its owner's hand. There's a few ways to skin this cat over here. How would everyone like to do it? I remember, there was like, the most common suggestion was give it exhaust, and then that's it. It's pretty simple. So you can tap for a white and tap return target legendary creature to its owner's hand, give it exhaust, and that's it. Once per turn. Doing it once per turn is already broken. As it is. Make it cost 1 at least. I don't think that's going to change how obnoxious this card is in Commander. This seems obnoxious in Commander. Well, that's the point. So if we give it exhaust, you only get 1. You only get to do it once. That's it. This is interesting. Would that break the card? Only on your own creature. So you can bounce your own legendary creature back to your hand if necessary. Target legendary creature you control. But was that the spirit of the card originally? Non-commander. Ooh. Then that would make it... You'd have to bend this card to be a very specific commander card. But that's interesting. Return target. Would it be as obnoxious? Maybe not. It would still be really strong, though. I have fixed Caracas. It's on the Discord. Well, I can't I'm not pulling up the Discord for today. Tap and sack. It would work. Oh, that would completely work, actually. Yeah, if you had to sacrifice the land, that would make it... I don't want to say it would make it really bad. It would just make it very different. I think I find for Commander, you don't pay tax. You don't want to pay your taxes in Commander. Then shuffle Caracas in your deck. No, you just... Oh, so like to prevent you from playing it from your graveyard. Make it cost mana to activate, tap, and bounce it back to your hand. I don't know if bouncing it back to your hand is enough of a downside. If you can replay this card over and over again, I think that's what's going to peeve people off. Enters tap, that would not solve the problem. People would easily play this card. It would still be pretty broken, even if it entered tapped. Not everyone even gets their commander out on turn 1. Mappius says, with how many commander-specific cards there are nowadays, making it unable to target commanders could work. Yeah, so if it was like return target legendary creature, or I guess non-commander legendary creature to its owner's hand, that probably is a good fix. Give it a hard once per turn. Well, you give it exhaust. So you can bounce 1 creature and then that's it, until you can blink the land again. You read 50% of your reply. Enters tapped, sack to use. Oh, then it's just that. No, I think sacking it by itself without entering tapped is fine. Yeah, but you're right. I did only read half of your reply. Force bounce 1 of your legendary creatures and 1 of your opponents. Do you know what? That actually could be broken in another way, and I'll tell you why. Because some commanders have ETBs, and you actually want to bounce your commander back to your hand to replay it. So you set your opponent back by a ton, but then you're not really setting yourself back by that much, because that was part of the plan. You actually plan to bounce your own thing back to hand. It would make it hard to use, though. It would make it harder to use. Okay, so far I like the idea of bouncing non-commander legendary creature. Make it a 1/1 creature like Dryad Arbor. Oh, so you can kill it? Oh no! R.I.P. Caracas. Don't know why it's... I don't know why it's sentient. We literally banned this town ain't big enough because of self-bounce. Correct. But that was for standard. This town ain't big enough is terrible. Terrible in every other format. But I would imagine if it was free, Like with Caracas, it actually could be abused. Sorcery speed only. It's probably still too strong, but maybe we're like you know, you're getting there. Steve Cooper says return the legend and Caracas, so it would eat your land drop unless you were also playing ramp to keep up. I don't know if it would be that big of a downside, to be honest. I think that's a weaker version of just sacking the land, because you get your land. You at least get to keep your land to use it in a future turn. I mean, maybe there's a world where enter the battlefield tapped, activate it, return it back to your hand, bounce a legendary creature, and then, yeah, if you want to replay it, it enters the battlefield tapped. Maybe. Tap, then donate. We donate our Caracas. All right, so if I get to bounce your card, but now you get to bounce mine. Make it only work on token legendary creatures? That makes no sense. There's so few of those. A lot of people seem to agree on tap and exile. What do you mean, exiling the land? I don't see that many people on it. Oh, great. Oh, we have one person. Oh, tap. Okay, we actually have a lot of them. Okay. So we're just gonna exile Caracas. All right, so basically we are sacrificing it, but it doesn't go to the graveyard for Crucible of Worlds. And I think that's totally fine. All right. And alternatively, you could fix it by just bouncing non-commander legendary creature. Good God! It's Jeweled Lotus. 0 mana artifact. Tap, sacrifice Jeweled Lotus. Add 3 mana of any one color. Spend this mana only to cast your commander. Some of you out there will say, well, it's fine as it is. Just unban the damn thing. Do I still have my Jeweled Lotus around here? Where's my Jeweled Lotus? Pretty sure I have a Jeweled Lotus. I just threw it somewhere near my desk. Steve Cooper's like, free my boy. Me too. I didn't even get to use this card that much. This seems like such the coolest card. Like, I didn't get to play with Black Lotus. This was my opportunity to play with Black Lotus. How many years was this around and I didn't get any opportunity to play with it? It was 2020. I basically had 4 years to play with this card. I had 4 years. What a waste of 4 years. It's propping up the wobbly table, like, probably. Yeah, it's somewhere. Jeweled Lotus was already a fixed version of Black Lotus. I know. There were a lot of references to the real world things back in the day, Toilet Duck. What? Never should have been banned. Enters tapped. I don't think that's gonna... Maybe. I don't know. What do we think about enters the battlefield tapped? So it's like a delayed Lotus. And still has the same disadvantages. You know what? I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. That's a lot slower. And also, it's vulnerable. So, like, you put it out, tapped, and then for the next rotation, people have the ability to either steal it, destroy it, whatever. Suspend 3. We already have a card. It's too close to the other card. Oh, it's called Lotus Bloom. I mean, it's identical. Like, yeah, you could do that, but it's the same card. If not worse. Yeah, Suspend 3 is just Lotus Bloom. Either give it Suspend or make it cost 5 mana. It doesn't sack like Gilded Lotus. But then it's Gilded Lotus. We need to give it its own identity. Yeah, tapped. I couldn't turn 1 Urza. Yeah, correct. Give it Wooburg identity? Well, then it's too strong. 2 mana? I mean, adding any mana to this probably does work. So you add a bunch of mana. But then it's not really a Lotus. How many Lotuses cost more than 1 mana? Just Gilded Lotus? I'm now interested. How many Lotuses? Okay, we want Lotus. It's an artifact. Okay, let's go. There's 13. Okay, let's see how many cost more than 0. Gilded Lotus, Black Lotus, nope. Jeweled Lotus, nope. Lotus Bloom, nope. Okay, Lotus Blossom does cost 2 mana. The Lotus Guardian costs 7. So it's not really a Lotus card. Lotus Petal is 0. Lotus Ring is 3 mana. It does have Lotus abilities. We have Mox Lotus and Nyx Lotus. Okay, we probably could add mana to this thing. We have Timeless Lotus. All right, okay. You know what? I was convinced. We could add mana to this. It could be 1 mana. It could be 1 mana comes into play tapped. And then that's like sort of a then it's sort of like a Time Vault, sort of. A little bit of a Time Vault, but crappy. Make it cost 3 mana. Well, then it's just straight up unplayable. Lotus to move on to the next card, huh? Oh, you want let us move onto the next card. Comes into play tapped is enough. Would that really be enough? I mean, maybe. I've never played with Black Lotus tapped, or even Lotus Petal tapped. Tap, exile it. Only commanders is enough. But if we need to nerf it, is it even necessary to exile it? Who's recycling these cards from the graveyard? I don't think it's necessary. Okay, do you know what? It comes into play tapped. I think that's a sufficient enough way to balance Jeweled Lotus. Okay, next up we've got I never played really against this card. Leovold. 3 mana, 3/3. Card looks awesome. It's an Elf Advisor. Each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn. Wow, that ability is just broken. They didn't balance. Wizards didn't balance that ability very well. That was a stupid ability. Whenever you or a permanent you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, you may draw a card. So like if they commit a crime, we get to draw a card. Am I understanding that correctly? Yeah, whenever you or a permanent you control becomes the target of a spell or ability. Don't be committing no crimes around here, okay? He can hear your thoughts with those ears. Definitely. Replace opponent with player. Each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn. Oh, that's interesting. So if they commit a crime against you, you draw a card. Oh, so it's almost like what's the call? Asper Sentinel. That's a pretty. You're really good at this, Argentina. You know, you should work for Wizards of the Coast. Just remove the first ability. No, but then it's not very flavorful to the original design. I mean, you could do that. Whenever you become like, okay, whenever someone targets you with something, you draw a card. Each opponent can't draw more than 1 each card each turn. So we could be like, each player can't draw more than 1 card each turn. That's very interesting. But yeah, and then you can't even use Wheel of Fortune. Sorry, you only use Wheel of Fortune. You can't use Windfall or Time Twister. Change it so everyone draws a card. Well, come on, this is not a group hug card here. Yeah, each player is super fair. They never should have made these asymmetrical cards. They're all broken. Like all these cards are stupid. They always should have been symmetrical. But I guess if they were symmetrical, they wouldn't even see play. When you draw a card, you have to discard at random. What does that have to do with Leovold? Yes, Pedgeman, you said it first. You said, oh, someone copied someone else's homework here? Replace each opponent with each player, and suddenly he limits himself and is fair and balanced. Yeah, I agree. I think that's a perfect solution. So many of these cards would just be better. They wouldn't have to be banned. Look, we have Hull Breacher that's banned because it only affects opponents. Leovold is banned because it only affects the opponents. What else do we have on the ban list? It only affects the opponents. It's probably not the last one. It's not the first, and it's definitely not going to be the last. Has there been a stream about worst color pie breaks? There has. But to be honest, the damn draws, I mean, we're at the point that I could just start redoing everything that we ever did. You know, we could do best blue cards, worst blue cards. You know, we're at that point. I've done almost everything. You know, I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel here. You know, we're now fixing broken banned MTG cards in Commander. I'm running out of series to keep the chain going on with. Flavor win opportunity for the emissary. He could pay 1 to stop them from drawing beyond 1. He could pay 1, stop them from drawing 1. Blue cards that do red things. Oh, there's a lot of cards like that. Have you ever heard of Psionic Blast? It'll blow your mind. It might even blast your mind away. No, this is just a regular Commander ban list. Oh, you got the Venom. What is this? It's like Carnage, but with a Venom. Oh, no, it's Venom. Forget it. Look like Dark Carnage. Or creatures that should be legendary. Oh, we've done that show too. You know, if you just named a random show, we've done it. At this point, I should just be like, I don't know. You know, I just thought like I should offer people to pay money, and you can have like whatever show you want. Would people be interested in that? Everyone's always making show suggestions. Well, you know what? Maybe on Fridays you can just pay for it, or Mondays. What about a show where we rank our best shows? What's going to be number 1, Pedge Man? Custom Magic the Gathering cards? What about a show where we come up with shows we haven't done with? That might be a good idea. But everyone, I won't know. You'd have to be the one to verify if we've done it before. I mean, I have like a pretty good idea of what we've done over the years, but not a perfect idea. Do it as a Patreon thing, maybe? Yeah, that's possible. Patreon doesn't take nearly as big of a cut as, what's it called? As YouTube. Sexy Leovold cosplay. All right. Well, we'll end it with that. Leovold, each player can draw more than 1 card each turn, and it's perfectly balanced and in the spirit of, in the complete spirit of the card. All right, as usual, my coffee crew, my Zyber Nation, thanks for being here today. As usual, if you want to be part of the show, you got to be here 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's when the show starts. It's not always when it ends, but that's when it starts. Also, thanks to everyone who supports the show. If you're a patron on Patreon, a member on YouTube, or you Super Chat to be part of the show, or even Super Chat so other people are part of the show. And of course, thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. People like Toilet Duck, Benjamin Berkey, Steve Cooper, of course, Argentina, Bob Talks Bridge to Damn Draws, Mappius, Magnum Opus Gold, Jess Solfim. I'm off to play Commander, get my butt kicked. It's all about perspective. You got to enjoy it. Jess, Andrew, Pedgeman, Anna, Toads, Jonathan. How about you pick a commander, then we add cards to it one at a time to complete the deck? You and I tried to do that once. It was sort of clunky, but maybe I could try it again. Memfaxo, Toads again, Jackal. We should have custom card shows every other day. If everyone had the wallet for it, I would be tempted. I would be tempted. All right, so as usual, my coffee crew, keep brewing those coffees, and we're going to keep brewing up the magic. Take care of yourselves, and of course, I will see you at the next cup.